In a world rushing toward the future, the teachings of a man from over 2,500 years ago still echo with quiet power. Lao Tzu, the legendary sage and author of the Tao Te Ching, did not offer rules. He offered a way, the Tao, the path. He did not teach how to dominate life. He showed how to flow with it. His wisdom is not loud, it doesn't demand, it invites. These are not lessons to conquer the world, they are lessons to understand it, to live in harmony with it, to live in harmony with oneself. Here are life lessons from Lao Tzu, distilled from the Tao Te Ching. We spend our lives grasping for meaning, grasping for identity, grasping for control over the future and sometimes the past. But Lao Tzu tells us that this grasping creates friction. It separates us from the natural order of life. He invites us to ask, what happens if I stop holding so tightly? In the Taoist view, life is not something to be wrestled with. It's something to join, to blend with, like a river merging with the sea. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean passivity. It means dropping the illusion that we can control everything. It means stepping back and allowing life to unfold, trusting that things have a rhythm, a flow, a Tao. This idea frightens the ego. The ego wants certainty, status, recognition. But Lao Tzu teaches that when we let go of these labels, we begin to discover who we really are. Like a tree shedding leaves in autumn, letting go prepares us for transformation. And just like nature, we're not losing, we're making space. Letting go is not a loss, it is a return to presence, to peace, to flow. Lao Tzu saw softness not as weakness, but as an incredible source of quiet strength. Water is the perfect teacher. It flows without resistance, adapts to its environment, and wears down stone not through force, but through patience and persistence. In a world that values aggression and domination, softness can seem like surrender. But Lao Tzu reminds us that it is the soft that overcomes the hard. A gentle heart, a calm mind, a flexible approach. These are not vulnerabilities, they are strengths that endure where brute force fails. The hard breaks, the soft bends and endures. There is power in being able to respond with grace, to adapt instead of resist. The more we embrace softness, the more we are able to move with life rather than be crushed by it. True strength is not loud or forceful. It is calm, resilient, and quietly unshakable. In our age, we glorify complexity. More apps, more hacks, more tools, more goals, more layers of noise between us and the present moment. But Lao Tzu speaks of a return to simplicity, not as regression, but as clarity. Simplicity does not mean a boring life. It means a focused life. It means knowing what matters and letting go of the rest. A simple room allows the mind to rest. A simple schedule creates space for meaning. A simple conversation can heal far more than 100 clever words. Simplicity is not small, it's expansive. Because when we are no longer tangled in the unnecessary, we begin to see clearly. We can finally hear the subtle things, the things that actually matter. A bird's call, a moment of silence, the truth in our own breath. Simplicity is strength, not because it dominates, but because it endures. It doesn't break under pressure. It bends, and it remains. Wu Wei, one of the most essential and mysterious ideas in Taoism. It doesn't mean laziness, it doesn't mean sitting idle. It means effortless action, action that flows from alignment, not resistance. When a skilled dancer moves with the rhythm, they're not thinking about every step. They've surrendered to the music. They've become the dance. That's Wu Wei. It's the archer whose shot releases perfectly because their body, breath, and intention are in harmony. It's the musician who doesn't force the notes. They allow the song to come through them. And it can be found in daily life. When we stop overthinking, when we stop forcing conversations or controlling outcomes, we leave space for things to unfold naturally. Wu Wei is about timing, about awareness, about doing the right thing in the right moment, and nothing more. In modern life, we glorify hustle and constant motion. But Taoism asks a radical question. What if the most powerful movement is stillness? Wu Wei isn't passivity. It's precision. It's wisdom in motion, with no wasted energy. We fear emptiness. We rush to fill silence with noise. We fill schedules to avoid reflection. We fill our minds with distractions to avoid stillness. But Lao Tzu reveals a hidden truth. Emptiness is not lack. Emptiness is possibility. A room without space cannot be lived in. A bowl that is already full cannot receive. A person who is certain about everything cannot grow. The Tao Te Ching constantly reminds us, space is what makes things useful, and this is true for the mind as well. When we allow ourselves to empty of judgment, of expectation, of endless desire, we become open to receive, to learn, to respond rather than react. Stillness creates clarity. Emptiness invites transformation. So next time you feel empty, try not to rush to fill it. Sit with it. See what grows in that space. The greatest battles are not fought outside, they are fought within. Lao Tzu understood that mastering oneself is far more difficult and far more meaningful than mastering others. Self-awareness allows us to recognize our fears, our patterns, our triggers. It gives us the space to respond with wisdom instead of reacting blindly. When we know ourselves, we are not easily swayed by others or thrown off course by the chaos of life. We move from a place of calm, not conflict. We're less influenced by praise or criticism because we understand our own motives and values. We are no longer slaves to emotion or habit. Strength isn't about overpowering the world, it's about staying centered in it. It's about knowing when to act, when to wait, and when to walk away. The more we understand our own nature, the less we need to control everything around us. Self-mastery means we don't need to prove anything to anyone. We are steady, we are clear, we are not driven by impulse, nor trapped by ego, and in that clarity we find peace. Self-awareness leads to self-respect, and self-respect leads to peace with others. Lao Tzu reminds us that the most powerful person is the one who has learned to rule their own mind, emotions, and energy, not through suppression, but through deep understanding and inner harmony. The warrior who wins without raising a weapon is the one who has already conquered the battlefield within. Lao Tzu's words are not instructions, they are signposts, pointing not outward, but inward. Let go of what you are holding. Simplify what you are complicating. Flow with what you are resisting. His wisdom does not call us to become more, it calls us to be less rigid, less reactive, less grasping, and in doing so, more real. In a noisy, fast-moving world, Lao Tzu invites us to walk quietly, to feel the rhythm beneath the noise, to live like water, adaptable, humble, unstoppable. So take these lessons, sit with them, not to memorize but to embody. Because Lao Tzu would say, the Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao, but the Tao that can be lived. That one is yours.